high school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime. I'm Scott Lever.
And I'm Drew Collins. We love that you join us on Valentine's Day night for some hoops action.
Yeah, this sport has a big spot in our hearts, and so do our local teams and athletes.
Tonight we'll see if the Rockford Christian boys could wrap up the Big Northern Championship outright. We also have NUIC boys action from Forreston and Pecatonica. And I'll spotlight Pecatonica senior Elena Rager.
And I'm going to visit with the head coach of the Hononegah girls team, Jason Brunke.
Let's get into the highlights, starting with the Nick 10 boys. The Guilford Vikings are threatening to run the table again in the conference with only 1 week left in the conference remaining.
The Vikings conference record was 15-0 coming into tonight's action at the Ship against Belvedere. It's the Gillies Heating and Air Conditioning Game of the Week. Wanye Sneed gets us going with this basket. Bucks ball next. Brandon Chapman, though, is going to get a steal. Let's play a little game here. Does Chapman make this dunk or doesn't he? Many of you at home right now are saying yes. A few of you are shaking your heads no. And let's see. No. That's okay, Brandon. We all know you're a baller, bud. All right, Belvedere's Matthew Laskowski splits the defenders. Nice move there. He will score. Millian Riley coming right back with a big-time spin move there for the bucket. On to the second half. It's Chapman. A little alley-oop action for Jay-Sean Fry. Very nice. Fry next is going to go to the big fella, Ricky Woods Jr. How about that reverse lay-in? Dominic Alvarado had a real nice 15-point game for the Bucks. Chapman, though, going to drive here and score, and that makes up for the missed dunk highlight, so we're all good now, Brandon, right? I think so. Brandon's a good sport. Let's finish up with his senior on senior night. Jaden Webster, the right-handed shot drops. The Guilford Vikings folks are outright Nick 10 champs for the third straight year. They won it 61-50. How does it feel the third time in a row to do this?
It's crazy, man. You know, we built this program from the ground up. You know, as a freshman, we were just like mid-tier, but ever since my sophomore year, we was always at the top. So that's really it.
Senior night, everybody think about senior night, but we still got the win. That's all that matters.
You ready to get wet?
No.
That is awesome. Congrats to Guilford. Now we go to East. The Rabs were trying to bounce back from a loss last night to Jefferson. Tonight they hosted Boylan, and that was John Terry on Leach for the open three. Sterling Horde goes down the lane for two. Nice finger roll. Some Valentine's jitters for Boylan. Will Robinson snags it, and Marquise Goldsmith finishes it. Boylan's Alex Ambrose gonna get this from the top of the arch. He's gonna drain it. Myquan Marshall drives. Nice move, but no good. But Marquise Goldsmith has the putback. Myquan Marshall finds Marquise Goldsmith inside for two. East wins it 52-32. The Auburn Knights are trying to nail down second place in the Nick 10.
They were up at Hononegah tonight. Rhiann Weil covered this one for us. Rhiann?
Hey guys, the Knights came into this game on a 3-game conference winning streak. Hononegah also came into this game on a 3-game winning streak. Both teams were fresh because neither one had played a game since last Friday night. The big question was whether or not one of Auburn's best, Amir Danforth, would be playing. Danforth has been out injured the last few games, but he suited up and started tonight. Now Hononegah started this one on fire. They scored the first 9 points of the game, including this turn and dump by Cole Schmall. Now the Indians took care of business on both ends. We're going to see a nice steal, and here comes the finish by Braden Olson. Hano led 16-5 after the first, and a high five from teammate Carter Friedland. Now it's Auburn on a fast break, and Champ Parker, he's going to take a shot at the rim, but it bounces out. But don't worry, Cooper Kopp is there for the tip-in. Now I kept this clip rolling because it shows just how intense this game was. On the next play, quick ball movement for Hononegah, too small from deep, and it's good. He had 10 points tonight. Great job there. Now some more passing now. Caleb Hart to Friedland and an easy basket for Olsen. He led all scoring with 16 points tonight. Now the Knights were fighting to stay in it. Here comes a Caden Dozie pass. Leads to this step back three from Danforth. Welcome back to the floor. He led Auburn scoring with 11 points tonight, but Hano had that early lead and maintained it throughout. They won 54-45. It was a great night and a big win for Hononegah. It also was their senior night. Way to come out on top. Their winning streak improves to 4. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Rianne. At Harlem tonight, the Huskies hosted the Jayhawks. Jefferson got a big win last night at East. Jayhawks on the run here. Watch Jaden Williams clean up the missed shot. You know, if the Nick 10 had a 3-point contest, my pick to win would be this guy, Mateo Pereira. He hits one. He's going to come right back, drain another one. Now, this next guy's not Pereira. That's Mason Walsh from deep. He hits. Now we go back to Pereira for another 3. The Jayhawks are going to get it to LaShawn Gathright. Spin move by the big fella. Very nice there for the senior. Back to Pereira again, and there goes his 4th 3 of the first half. Sebastian Bracious is going to make a big-time turnaround jumper here. Oh, that is so good there. Jefferson wins a close one, 68-63.
Let's check out Nick 10 girls action. Belvedere hosted Guilford. Bucks down 21-8. Kayla Baudet inside for 2. Guilford's Olivia DeShazo grabs the steal, and she goes all the way down to the other end for 2. Ariana Dubose out to Emma Pearson for 3. She's made a lot of these in her career. Guilford misses the 3 ball, but Jaleese Williams fights for the putback, and it's in. Emma Pearson gonna take it all the way to the hoop, but Guilford wins it 69-45. Before we do anything else, we need to reveal the winner of our Overtime Athlete of the Week contest. On Monday, we announced our 4 finalists.
Athlete of the Week is brought to you by McCloskey, Kessler, and Associates. Our finalists were South Beloit's Ross Robertson, Rockford Lutheran's Soraya Parker, Polo's Cameron Jones, and Auburn's Champ Parker. We gave you all this week to cast your vote.
And the winner is Auburn's Champ Parker. Champ received 37% of the votes. Congratulations to Champ Parker, our Athlete of the Week.
And congrats to all of our finalists.
More highlights are coming up in a bit from Winnebago, Forreston, and Pecatonica.
Up next, though, I sit down with Hononegah girls coach Jason Brunke to learn about his Nick 10 champion Indians. You're watching Overtime.
Earlier this week, the Hononegah Indians wrapped up the Nick 10 Girls Championship. It's the 5th straight season they finished on top.
And they won it without a single senior on their roster. Let's learn more about this team with head coach Jason Brunke. Jason, congratulations on a 5th consecutive Nick 10 championship. I think if there was ever a season where maybe Hononegah was a little vulnerable, it would have been this year because you don't have any seniors, you have such a young team. So tell me about the poise that your young kids have shown throughout this season to get to this point.
Yeah, it's been incredible, and first of all, I'm very excited that they've got to experience this, you know, and be rewarded for their hard work, you know, and it wasn't easy, and there was definitely some times where that poise got challenged a little bit, but I was just thrilled to see them, you know, come together and be able to finish out games in tough spots, and you know, they grew up pretty quick, and you know, I give them a lot of credit for being coachable all year and willing to take the necessary, you know, make the necessary changes to get better.
And the other thing that makes the conference championship this year impressive, in my opinion, is there were a lot of good teams in the conference this year. Guilford, Auburn, Boylan, Freeport. So I think that makes it even more special. And for you, how good is it for the conference to have this type of balance?
Oh, it's great, you know, and this year was an absolute grind, you know. We try to load up our non-conference a little bit just so we experience a lot of that. And this year it was even tougher because, you know, sometimes in the previous years we'd get back into conference and we could take a deep breath and kind of relax a little bit. This year there wasn't much of that, you know, and I'd add obviously if you looked at our scores, Belvedere into that mix too. They gave us all kinds of trouble this year. So yeah, I mean, pretty much every week we had the importance of game planning and for our conference to experience, you know, that there's a game every night, and for our players to know that there is no relaxing, and you got to continue to bring it every day in practice and refocus and re-game plan and be ready to find a new way to beat a different opponent. You know, that only helps prepare every single one of these teams for what we're going to see in the next couple weeks.
You have 3 freshmen who not only play, but play and contribute significantly to your team, in Ashley Hughes, Carly Cook, Madison Olson. And we're seeing this, maybe not 3 on every team, but we're seeing a lot of freshmen just step right in at the varsity level around this area. Why do you think it is we are seeing this so prevalent right now with these young kids ready to make an impact?
Yeah, well, I think it's really the growth in travel basketball. I think that has a lot to do with it. Where they're getting exposed to more competition, and there's so many opportunities for these kids to work on their game outside of high school, and those who love it have every opportunity to continue to grow their game. And when you get the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, we think they're ready, and really all it is a difference of a little physicality and a little bit of speed of the game, and as long as they can catch up to that and understand that there's going to be some of their growing pains themselves and they have to just learn how to adjust to that speed, then I think a lot of these kids are ready, and again, like you said, across the conference, it's really cool to see that we've got some young talent that's going to continue to grow.
I've been a fan of Jordan Dimke since she started playing varsity ball here as a freshman. Now she's a junior. Tell me a little bit about the growth that you've seen in her game this season.
Yeah, it's been huge, and it was one thing we had some conversations with her early this year about was hey, you're going to be at the top of everybody's scouting report now. I think there was an immediate pushback where she kind of realized that teams were going to be gunning for her, and she did the right thing. She dug her heels in, she got to work, and I think the best thing that we've seen from her, she's done a much better job of finding her spots around the basket and really continuing to put pressure on defenses for a little bit longer in that transition as we get back into our half-court offense. So I think that's the big growth that we've seen is her ability and willingness to be physical around the basket.
All right, let's talk postseason. You guys are in the Huntley sectional. You host your own regional. You open on Monday against Harlem. So just your thoughts on how things are kind of mapped out and how ready are your girls? I mean, they played really well the other night against Boylan. How ready are your girls for the postseason here?
I think we're right where we need to be. I think we're showing some of the right habits, specifically on the defensive end where, I think we're really kind of flying around. We're starting to communicate a little better. We're starting to show that urgency we need to get loose balls and rebound with consistency. I think everybody's going to play hard, right? Everybody knows what's at stake. It's just a matter of who can execute.
So they're going to have everybody back next season, hopefully, but it should be a battle again next year in the conference, yeah.
Freeport and Guilford will have almost all their key players returning, and so will Boylan. Jefferson and Auburn will also have some good players returning. Coming up in a bit, we'll spotlight Pecatonica's Elena Rager.
And we're back to the highlights next. NUIC action in Forreston and Pecatonica. And could the Rockford Christian Royal Lions lock up the outright Big Northern Conference Championship at Bago? Rockford Christian finished second in the Big Northern Conference 2 years ago. The Royal Lions finished third last year. Coming into this season, they felt that this was their year, with seniors Christian Cummings and Elijah Doherty leading the way.
Both of those guys have been banged up and missed some games down the stretch, but the Royal Lions were still undefeated in conference play going into tonight, and they were looking to clinch the championship outright at Winnebago. Christian Cummings was out for this one with a hand injury. We hope we can see him back on the court soon. His best bud, Elijah Doherty, showed up and he scored 30 points tonight. But keep an eye on the score. RC leads by 10 with under 4 minutes remaining in the game. Bago's Brody Larson grabs the offensive board, goes up strong, and gets the and one. Aiden Shoemate gets to the post and gets this to fall. Bago takes the lead 49-47. RC trails by 2, no Cummings, so Elijah Doherty takes it himself and the shot falls. He tied it back up. Six seconds left, tied 49-49. Inbounds pass to Blaze Brown. He catches the lob and lays it in. RC throws up a Hail Mary at the buzzer, but it's no good. Bago pulls off the 10-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Bago wins it 51-49, and Blaze Brown had this to say following the game winner.
You only practiced it maybe 2 or 3 times, and it was like last second. And, we were supposed to get it for a lob, for a dunk, but it didn't go that way. I grabbed the ball, looked up, shot it, and went in.
Wow, what a night for him. Also in the Big Northern, Rock Falls beat Dixon 48-46. The Rockets are only a game behind Rockford Christian. They still have a chance to tie the Royal Lions for the championship. Stillman Valley surprised Rockford Lutheran 67-49. Byron beat North Boone 70-45. All right, there's an excellent NUIC matchup tonight in Forreston. The Cardinals hosted Dakota. Austin Stuckey going to go to work early on. He's going to work the baseline for us. He's got a lot of moves. Talented young man. Gives it up to Micah Schrader, who swishes the three. Schrader scoring 18 points. Cardinals turn. Kendall Urban takes his shot behind the arc. Put 3 more up on the board for the Cardinals there. Micah Schrader again wanting to be a part of the three-point party. Makes it. Heads up play by Forston, finding Kendall Urban immediately down the court. He responds with a 3. Dakota going to put on a passing display here, doing a good job. It's going to end up in Jacob Seaver's hands. The fake in the bank for the 2. Urban now wants to try from the corner. No problem for that guy. He scored 19 points. Dakota won it 58-48. Also congrats to Forston's Brendan Greenfield on scoring his 1,000th point.
Undefeated Pecatonica was home tonight, hosting Durand. Durand got things kicked off. Hayden Suro grabs the long ball and lays it in off the glass. Brody Black fires over the Cupid arrow. Cooper Hoffman snags it and fires from college distance. So smooth. Jordan Gassman now goes coast to coast and steps his way through traffic for the and 1. Hoffman scored 21. He Euro steps his way for the lay-in. Fast break. Heartbreaking. Joshua Jennings steps in and fires from deep, but just wait, it gets sweeter. Black gets the steal. Zion Brima. Will he dunk it? Not quite. Let's go ahead and see a Valentine's treat. Jennings dunks his way to the hearts of our viewers. The Indians improved to 26-0. They beat Durand 89-22 to clinch at least a share of the conference championship.
Let's take another break. When we return, we will have our Spotlight feature story.
We'll meet a young lady who's wrapping up the greatest basketball career in Pecatonica girls history. The Pecatonica girls basketball program has never been stronger than it has been in the past 4 years. Elena Rager has a lot to do with that. She's all about winning, and while doing that, a whole lot of school records have also came her way. We spotlight Rager now. It's brought to you by Benchmark Exteriors. If you are familiar with State Line Hoops, then you already know the name. Senior Elena Rager is a dominant two-sport athlete over in Pecatonica. She's a 3-time All-NUIC player in volleyball and a 4-year varsity starter on the basketball court with many broken records and a Division I scholarship. So you're a 4-year starter for basketball. You're also a 3-time All-NUIC volleyball player. How do you find the best of both worlds?
Just playing with my teammates from both sports. I think it helps me in basketball because that is my main sport. It builds chemistry with both the girls who play volleyball, which in basketball they play.
Over her 4 years of varsity, she has consistently averaged over 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 assists. Every year, she has been a unanimous all-conference player, and her sophomore year, she earned the NUIC North MVP. Shooting over 40% each season also led to many all-state mentions alongside shattered school records. She currently holds the all-time score for the school as she inches closer to 2,000 career points. She's also the all-time rebounder, single-game scorer leader, and single-season scorer for Pecatonica.
I feel very privileged to have that. There were good athletes in the past, but hard work got me there, so I would just go back to my work ethic. I think my dad has really installed it, helped me throughout the years, the hard days that I don't want to go into the gym. He's always rebounding for me and helping me through my mental blocks, both on the volleyball and basketball court. He always knows the right thing to say, and it gets me through, and it really helps me.
What is it about her that just kind of sets her apart from others?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for Elena is it's her work ethic. This is my 7th year here at Peck coaching on the boys and girls side, and she works harder than any kid I've ever seen. She's the first one to practice, the last one to leave. She kind of has this routine, and I think that's kind of what defines her, and it's kind of the foundation that really helps help her set apart from everybody else.
Pecatonica's program has won at least 22 games a season since Elena arrived as a freshman. Even with all the wins and a regional championship her freshman year, they have never won the NUIC. But this season is different. With a conference record of 11-1, they have shared the NUIC North Championship with Orangeville. But this team this year has a lot of talent, and the Lady Indians believe there is more history to write.
So I believe the last time we won conference was 1997, so I think that's 27 or 28 years. And I don't think we've ever won the NUIC. So like the Northwest Upstate Illini Conference, I don't think we've ever won it when it's been called that.
I think we can really go all the way if all the pieces fall in the right spots. Everyone has the same goal in mind, and like in the locker room at the Lena game, we were all super locked in, and we knew from the start like it can be a statement game, and so I think all these games are statement games and just playing super hard.
Before Elena leaves to play Division I basketball at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio, Coach made it known that Rager's legacy that she leaves behind is now the new standard to be a Pecatonica Lady Indian.
So I think the biggest thing, and we said this on senior night, I think she's just been the standard for our program. Her and all of her teammates, especially that senior class, when they kind of came in as freshmen, they kind of set new standards for what they wanted the program to be, and they've done that every year. Regional titles, we have a chance for conference this year for the first time in 25 years, and then her individually, breaking all the records. Some of her teammates have done that. So I think they just, for her especially, she's just been the standard and kind of reset like what the bar is to be a Pecatonica Lady Indian.
The state line will be cheering for Rager as she departs for Division I hoops at Wright State. Signing day for her meant she can continue doing what she loves the most, playing basketball. Last night, Rager eclipsed over 2,000 career points on the same night that Pecatonica tied for the NUIC North Championship.
We'll be right back.
Now let's check out the top play caught on our cameras tonight.
It's the Napleton Auto Group play of the night. 6 seconds left, RC and Bago.
Blaze Brown catches it off the inbounds lob to win it. And there it is in the celebration right at the camera. Heads up, the play was coming there, but let's check it out one more time. A slow-mo lob pass, just like how Coach drew it on the sideline.
Yeah, Coach Murphy. How about that one?
Motion was great. We'll be right back here with you next Friday for another episode of our Overtime. Catch us on Fox 39 at 11 o'clock right after GN Sports.
For another look at this entire show or for scores and highlights of individual games, go to mystateline.com.
That does it for this episode of Overtime.
Good night and enjoy your weekend.